This is the GJRB Online Network.
Hello everyone, I'm Gary J. Russen. Welcome to a brand new addition to the GJRB family in the GJRB family of Gary Russen programs. This is the Gary Russen program.
Saturday Extra. Hello everywhere across America from the GJRB Spreaker Studios, just above Lions Shopping District on Clinton's North End. Welcome to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. It's going to be an interesting show today, I got to tell you that much. We got a lot of stuff going to do here. We're going to give you all the news. We're going to play the music, play a little variety here. We'll have some fun with a lot of things. And talk a lot about different things like Donald Trump and Bogornovich and all that good stuff. Plus, probably ran a little bit, so kind of excuse me today. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Stay with me. The Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, starts now.
On Skype, or just chat with Gary Russen on the GJRB Spreaker public site by clicking the balloon icon on the GJRB widget. And now, the Gary Russen program,
Saturday Extra.
On GJRB.
And hello everyone, hello everywhere. I'm Gary J. Russen on the GJRB Online Network. It is now 3:02, 2 minutes to 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, after 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and after 1 p.m. Pacific Time, and just about 21, about minutes after 21 hours, 3 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time. And welcome to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GJRB Online. Across America and around the world, wherever you're listening, it could be morning, so say good evening, good morning, good night, whatever. Somewhere in the world, it's one of those 3-day parts. That's it. And welcome to the program, and I hope you'll stay with me for some great talk radio here on GJRB Online. I had a preview about, a little less than an hour ago, on my Gary John side of Anchor, the Gary John side of Facebook. And I don't know, this is where I kind of get a little frustrated because, I've been kind of ticked off at Facebook for some time now because of the fact that I have to automatically put those. And it's to a point where I say to myself, why don't I just leave Facebook? They're not going to post my programs. And they're not going to give me any recognition on here. I can go other places and get that recognition. Now, this show is being heard. For a lot of people can catch our show over on Spotify. Also available there. I'm also trying something different. Now, I'll still play popular songs here. Because, see, my theory is this. Those people over on the, those people, yeah. Those people on the YouTube, I mean, they tag everything. And it could be an emerging artist. I've had that happen. I was tagged songs that were originally when I had the Spreaker web-based console. Some of those I was for. Okay, and these were just generic songs. These I thought were royalty recordings, and I was getting tagged for them. Okay, and I thought, well, if that's the case, I don't care. I'll play whatever I want on my side. Okay, and quite frankly, if you really want to chalk it up to the whole thing with copyright, if I'm going to be tagged on everything on YouTube, I don't care. I'm going to broadcast it there anyway. I mean, it's just getting to a point where it's just bumming me out because I put a lot of my I took advantage of the plan on Spreaker for $12 a month for the 3-hour plan. Okay. And I thought, well, maybe this will make a difference. Maybe perhaps I'll get some listeners. Maybe someone will tune in to me. Maybe someone will care. No. It's still, I still have dead shows. And my music shows are always dead. I can post to Timbuktu and my shows will be dead. It's just dead. I come up with a lot of material that I work hard on producing. I write my own promos. Yes, I do too. Because I can't talk straight for 3 hours. Okay? So, this is my 3-hour program. And for free advertising, I believe that not just people's, what they sell or whatever. If you're selling something and you're advertising on a website of your website, you're selling products, I'd gladly do it. And it's free advertising. I have no rate card. And I will write a pretty darn good 30-second spot. I do. And I will schedule it for a particular time slot, a particular show here on GJRB Online Network and GJRB Online, and broadcast it over my Spreaker side. Yes, I put a lot of work into my programs, right? I put a lot of show prep. I spend hours prepping my program, and it's gonna, have decent show, and no listeners. So why am I doing it, you ask? Well, RP for one. The fact that this is one of my AA degree, Associated Applied Science Podcasting, that I got from the Black Hawk College in Moline. That's what I'm doing it for. The fact that I'm using my something. But it's a bummer when this is what I was doing when Ricker ever came along. Being on programs, entertainment. This goes back even to that. Goes back to I'm in Pittsburgh. FM, again, entertain yourself. Life in broadcasting. And sometimes I thought about throwing in the towel and just saying the heck with it. If I'm not getting anywhere with it, but I understand. My guest backed out. He has to work. I get it. It's cool. I have no problem with that. It just seemed like care. And then I'm talking to myself there to even call the program or talk to me. People that are fabulous podcasters, even Caramel Conservative, even Bob Myers, the radio time. Like I said, I have a format. I do stuff. And basically, that's all well. I love doing it. This is I just do news to make it interesting. I'm going to do news, but I play music. And look at this rant. And I'm sorry if I'm ranting. But I'm just and do my shows, and not a soul comes in. Or do they only for like about 2 seconds, and then tune in. They don't even stop by and even say hi or something. Now Ed Delgado does. I'm grateful that he supports the show. BJ, the Black Dragons Radio, I'm probably maybe L with through Walter M. But I might record a show so I can do this again and see if now I'm going to do that, but I'm going to make sure that Ben knows on Monday. And I'll say, as things changed, are you going to by Wednesday? If you can't do the show, house live, because I'm not going to waste my time putting up and no one gets backs out. I'm getting tired of that too, and I understand he works. I get that, but it seems like every time I turn around, there's something coming up that he can't be on. It really does. I'm just gonna rant a little bit. I'll do this at the end of the 3:30 break, because I'm gonna do it. I need that 4-minute break. The only time I do a hard break is if I do, for by luck and chance, I have a guest on. Because like I said before, when I do a radio show and I do a talk show and I have a guest on, I'm not like these other radio stations. They're making a profit, so their guests have to stand by for 5 minutes while they go through the commercials. But here on Spreaker, on GJRB Online, I don't do that, because I don't make a profit from this station. I just am doing it. So my guest, if I get any, will get the full time on the air. If they're on for an hour, I will not take a hard break. I will not take any pro breaks. I go straight through. If they want to be on an hour and a half, cool. Straight through. No breaks whatsoever. Because I do it that way. So, whatever the case may be, let's just see what happens. Maybe perhaps we'll get somebody in here. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just a matter of what I get from it. What I get from, and I have to manually post. So to post a message, copy, paste. I can do it while I'm talking. I could do it when I'm talking, and I could do post live on talking. It's fabulous. So what I do, it's a talk show, even music show, but not always, because I don't get anybody listening to my music shows anyway. I just do it for this show. I just post live and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. But something that really makes a difference with you. Because, and I listened to my preview, and I don't know if there's no way to listen to the program to see whether or not I'm skipping. I really don't know if I'm skipping or not, because I don't know, maybe it's horrible. I had no clue what the deal is with that. I really don't. It's just it's crazy. You know what I mean? I'll post 50, 60 times just to let people know. I go on Spreaker Tavern. I go on Spreaker, the Spreakers, GJRB Online, and I post off over on John's side. That too. So that people on the Facebook will see it. You see what I'm saying? And be able to catch the show live. I really want audience interaction. But if I'm not getting it, I might as well voice track my shows and say the heck with it. You know? Really. Because it's kind of ridiculous that I have to, manually post. But here I'm at. Some say I may be desperate. Maybe I am. Really? It doesn't take much to do a podcast. I mean, this is a radio station. That's what I treat it as. I program shows. Various shows. So, let it be at that. We're going to see what's going on in the news here. And we're going to go from there. And I'm going to take a bite of my sandwich during a heartbreak. It's another reason why I take a heartbreak so I can eat. Let's see here. I'm going to check and see what else is up here. Got a few interesting stories. TV take. ESPN throws fans curveball with a pair of whatever. Let's see what that is about. And we'll see what's going on in news. We're doing that. So save that story for later. I just want to see what the headline is as soon as it comes up. While I'm waiting for it to come up, I want to remind you, coming up today on the show, we'll talk about various things like, President Trump commuting the prison sentence of Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. What did he get this week? I mean, just, let him go. Don't matter whether he sold the empty chair by Barack Obama when he became president. That doesn't matter. I mean, like I said, I'm a Trump supporter. I said this in the preview. I'm a Trump supporter. I believe in what he's doing. But the thing about it is he's doing stuff, which is screwing up his presidency and screwing up his support. Really. Anyway, TV ESPN throws fans a curveball with a pair of analysis calling number 2 Gonzaga conference. We'll have that coming up a little later on. Story. Come on now. Okay. So go over side. I have a whole mess of these little styluses. I got like 4 or 5 of them, and sometimes I get one. It's just amazing. I left one, but I do have another backup one sitting in here, in my jar, in my, let's see here. Pull that out here. A little blue one. Let's see if we get that. I'll pull that out and go to my other news feed. So we're going to find some more stories. And we'll do some headlines here and see what's going on in news. Well, Web 5's coming real shortly as well here on GJRB Online, Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. And we'll be on the air again tomorrow. I'm thinking really would like to do something that with my wife here. I mean, it's going to be kind of fun to have another person in here besides talking to myself. It's getting old. It really is, seriously, folks. I ain't kidding. Let's see. I'm going to go over to let's see here. I want to go over. I went back to where I was. Let's see. Okay. Nestle Prince Clinton. Oh, I'll do Clinton news. I want to do worldwide news when I'm on the air live, nationwide. Something about Michael Jackson's son. I have to check that out. It shows that I'm live on Spreaker. There's an email. If you want to check it out, j65@yahoo.com. You'll see that shows there that I'm live on the air here on Spreaker. I notify myself. Let's see. Okay, we're not down here. Some more stuff from Slapped Ham. Yeah, I had a couple good ones yesterday on our show. 51 degrees here in Clinton, really? Wow. It feels a little warmer than expected, but we're going to take a look at that weather forecast coming up next here on GJRB Online on our local side, 9-foot closed circuit signal, and see what's going on there. I'm going to, let's see here, I got to go to my email account real quick and see if I can go over to the National Weather Service. And let's see if I can't get there in a hurry because it's giving me nothing but a white screen. I will go over to it on the computer, even if I skip. Because, if I'm going to skip like a horrible record, I might as well skip like a horrible record and get no listeners. I mean, why not? I mean, that's my lot in life. Some people get it and some don't. And apparently, I don't. So, let it be at that. Let's see, we're going to get weather on the 5s coming up right now, and then on the other end of the hard break, we will be back with more of the Gary Russen program right here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. We're live all over the internet on Facebook. I posted all over my groups. I posted over on my Facebook page, and it's Gary John on the other side, and see what becomes of that. And let's see, maybe perhaps we can get somewhere on this. I really don't. I have no clue why. I just don't get the listeners I want. It just doesn't seem fair. It really doesn't. A lot of guys get postings and stuff like that, but my shows are always empty. Always. I don't know. Should I take it personally? Maybe not.
Now, nationwide weather update. This is GJRB's weather on the 5.
Okay, let's see. A storm in the southwest will produce rain, locally heavy, with a potential for flash flooding this weekend. Mountain snow also spreading across the southwest and Great Basin and into the south central Rockies. The whole storm is going to shift into the plains later this weekend, while some new systems are going to bring some rain and mountain snow into the northwest and northern Rockies. We'll take a look at that weather forecast, take a look at the weather across the nation coming out throughout the show. Weather on the 5s, 35 and 55 past the hour on most talk shows, and 25-45 on the Positive Rock Show coming up possibly tomorrow and or Monday. And let's see, Tuesday, and of course we're going to be bringing back to the 80s, and because I will play what I want on this station. Back to the 80s, and what's the other show? Oh yeah, Good Times, Great Oldie Show, or any time of the hour it ends in 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 past the hour, right here on GJRB Online. Weather on the 5s. Always glad to do that because it lets people know what the weather is in your neck of the woods. And we'll do temperatures, local temperatures in different parts of the country too as well throughout the afternoon here on GJRB Online. Yeah, because I just like doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the place to do that. Glad you could be part of the program. Always glad doing the show, and I hope that maybe perhaps we'll get some listeners this afternoon here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker, and I'll bring you the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, and see who's out there listening to the radio this afternoon. You know what I'm saying? So, well, that's it. Want to do a little bit something else here real quick. Anyway, listen to the horrid skipping that occurred during my review today. Really horrid, awful skipping on my preview. It was terrible. I just don't understand the stupid internet. I really don't. Why should I be getting that? I just don't understand at all why I'm getting that. It's irritating me to no end. I'm telling you. Why? Why am I getting that? I shouldn't even be getting that at all. it really is really getting me mad. I don't know, but we'll see what occurs out of that. You know what I'm saying? So, well, let's see. Why don't we do this? I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with
Okay, I'll just stick around though. Stuff on the show. And a lot of interesting stuff coming up. Stay with me. The rest of the program, more ranting and rant does get raised. More stuff coming up next. The rest of the program continues on GJB.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland. Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.
Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.MeWe.com. That's M-E-W-E. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site.
End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end-time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's sports page. Join me for sports page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB.
There's a problem on our roads today, and that is the safety of our children boarding and getting off the bus on busy roads. That problem is drivers who don't stop for a school bus when the arm is out, the lights are flashing, and the stop sign is out, leaving kids in danger of getting hit. Violators of this law could get a suspension of their driver's license and a $250 fine. When you see a school bus stop at a corner, letting off kids, stop 25 feet away from the bus. Don't take that chance. A public service announcement from the National Highway Safety Administration and GJRB Online.
This is Michael J. Martin, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online.
And we're back on the air, the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra, and I can tell when we're skipping too because the music that I'm playing right now keeps cutting out. Now, I do not have hardly anything on my internet or on the computer except for 2 pages. So what I'm going to do whenever I need the computer for something, let alone weather forecast or something, I am going to not use the internet on the computer. I'll only use the internet in news stories on my cell phone or off some other sources. But I'm going to find out if maybe perhaps when I have a lot of tabs up, and maybe that is hurting my internet. I don't know, because are causing me to skip. Maybe I need another computer. Now, see, if I had bigger studios, I had a bigger place that was nothing but a radio studio, and I had 2 computers and 2 monitors. 2 computers. One computer would be solely internet broadcasting only. It would just be used for that. The other computer would, of course, be anything that I pull up on the internet for the show, but I don't even know it would make a difference if that would cause more skipping. But just before I went on the air, I did a preview, and it sounded like an old record I bought that I had to take back because it skipped too much. Seriously. It sounded like a warped record. It really was horrid. I gotta tell you something, folks. This is getting irritating. Because I work hard on, like I said, doing my programs. And I get this kind of stuff. And it bummed me out totally. Hey, Delgado's back. How you doing, Ed? Good afternoon. It's been a minute since I've been a chance to listen live. If I was being a little bit crazy today, I've been kind of frustrated. And my frustration is over this internet and this fact that this radio show really gets hardly any support. It's like it's forgotten or something sometimes. I know Mike's got a lot of people on his program. You do. Even Bob Huber has a lot of people on his show. But it looks like every time I turn around, I'm lucky I have you on when you come in. You're about the best one that comes in my chat room. Otherwise, yesterday's show, empty. And then my guest backed out on me again, because I had Ben Ostman expected to be on, but, he's has another job. So, as like I said before, I get to a point where I get kind of tired of talking to myself for 3 hours. I thought cutting this show down to 1. Mainly to try to get, I'm thinking about even changing my format. Popular songs. I'll play generic, royalty-free songs. And, of course, songs from my playlist. From SoundClick and SoundCloud. Just that playlist. Just to get on another platform. Just to get on... just to maybe even make it on iHeartRadio. I mean, somewhere. It's like they're all dead. It's nuts. There's a lot of people now. One, Aura L. Owens, who I befriended from. She's a friend I made from Walk and Ball, Blues in the Night. Great program. Ed, if you want to listen to blues, you got to listen to this guy. Every Monday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. He has a show called Blues in the Night. He plays really good stuff. Experiment with different formats. That's what I'm attempting to do. Well, yeah. I'm gonna try anything I can possibly do to get this program a bit more attention. I'm sorry if I was being that way. It's just I was getting, and then I've been doing previews. I did one before I came on the air over on my Gary John side of which is a free site. I used that 15 minutes for a preview. That 15-minute preview sounded horrid. It sounded like a bad record. Skips real bad. And we're going to have to check out and see what's going on, because I thought I had the highest speed of internet possible. But I don't know. Can one person, and it's all good, thank you. I mean, this putting up an internet at the same time you're on the same computer as you do your podcast, and you have a lot of tabs up, that probably can cause skipping, can it? It just seems like it. I went over to Podbean, because I thought, well, maybe, Podbean. Now, I get listeners on Podbean, although they do pop in and out. But, I don't know, way out there, my show about the strange and bizarre, I love doing that show. That kind of a coast-to-coast George North type program. Or the Dave Scott type program. Or Fade to Black and all that programs that talk about the UFOs and government conspiracies and stuff like that. I love doing shows like that. Talking about cryptozoology or time travel and interdimensional travel. I love talking about that stuff. But yeah, I know. Maybe there's no audience for this particular thing. I don't know. But it just seems like I've just been getting kind of frustrated. So I've been kind of forfeiting news right now. I closed all windows on the computer. Mine is a tower end computer, so I'm free of overworking it. I keep all the open tabs on my phone. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm beginning to use my phone. And an old tablet, which has a tendency to kick out. My wife's old phone. So I'm trying to rig up a way to have one phone on one story, one phone on another story, an old phone, and then the tablet maybe on a third story, and do 3 stories. And, have them all ready. I'm waiting to get some printer ink. Possibility of that happening here real soon. And if I get printer ink, it might be better because I'll be able to print my stories and have them there in front of me on paper. It just, I was just getting frustrated. It pumps me out at times because, like I said before, and Mike has told me, self-talk therapy stuff. Yeah, maybe so, but really, I mean, I've been doing that since I started doing radio when I was 9 years old. I wouldn't, I didn't have the capabilities we have now. I didn't have the capability. Then when I got into my 20s. Just doing radio through a little short FM signal wasn't enough to get an audience, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get a job at the local radio station, that was pretty much my whole life as a broadcaster. I guess I just didn't get the message. But apparently that message, I guess I'm not good enough. So I don't know. I just did. I had another short course of it. I ran on. I do stupid stuff sometimes, and like I said before, yeah, I play copyrighted music, but I don't care because my theory is it's shared all over the net anyway. Everybody shares videos. What is that then playing there on my station? Really, what's the difference? I mean, quite frankly, YouTube already, we would think, is paying for some of these songs anyhow. But, like I said before, this is what I do. This is how I produce my programs. And yeah, I'll try different formats, and I'll experiment with different formats. But I really want to stick with the one I've got as backup. I'm gonna play around with different ones and different schedules. I got a schedule right now that I had done on YouTube. I did the schedule and I did the full hour and a half video live on YouTube, And YouTube only gave me 56 minutes and 54 seconds of the whole darn video. So it's like to a point where I'm just going to redo it. I'm going to record it. And I'll have to keep it at 1 hour. But the thing about it is, it's just frustrating for me now. It really is. I don't know. Either dealing with inferior internet or an inferior computer, whichever, or both. I mean, it could be any one of those things. I don't know. I'm a low budget radio station, so chalk it up to that. YouTube is an interesting beast. Yeah, it is. Well, it's run by Google. You hear about that yesterday? About that? Oh, that bit with. Did you hear about that? I think it was Bill Gates. I did a show yesterday on my way out there. Bill Gates planned to depopulate the planet. And I said yesterday, because he's doing stuff with Monsanto. And you remember straight Monsanto's Roundup is causing cancer. You have to wonder if that isn't part of Bill Gates' plan. And the fact that he predicted the coronavirus outbreak. And on the last 7 days, which I'll upload from February 6th, we did my pastor Ron, of our church, who does the program, trying to get him to turn that program into a radio show. He talked about having a studio with good quality sound and everybody have a microphone. And talking about a roundtable discussion. That's what I'm looking at there. And maybe even phone calls with a 3-hour show would be really cool. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying before, he has he apparently had a lab set up, and he apparently had it was a breeding ground for coronavirus or something, in a matter of the fact. I don't remember how that went. Well, in fairness, the Simpsons or even Family Guy predicted the coronavirus as well. Yeah, I heard about that too. Which makes you wonder if I see a conspiracy in this. I really do. I see a conspiracy in this. I think that's why I don't really have nothing to do with current television. I think today's television plainly sucks. I don't like it. I don't watch it. All I watch is reruns. All I'll watch until the day I die is MeTV, Antenna, Cozy sometimes, because they have some of the good ones from the 80s, Decades, and Classic TV, which I get on Tubi, which I've been using an awful lot on my Roku box. I love that thing. Tubi is fabulous. The other day I was watching the Philadelphia Experiment. And, it's fabulous. I mean, it's all free. Tubi's fabulous. And you got a lot of good stuff on there. And I've been using that. And, of course, I usually watch Pluto TV, which has a lot of good stuff on it, too. Even classic shows. So, I just don't really watch current TV at all. I stopped watching. Quite frankly, I stopped watching current television when they took... As soon as they canceled the X-Files, which was the last primetime current television show I ever watched. When they canceled the X-Files, that's when I stopped watching current television. I was done with it. They don't want to keep a science fiction show on, a good one. I won't watch current television, period. That's all there is to it. If there's no science fiction show that's respected, current, I won't watch any current television. Now, they had a good show on there. It was called Timeless. It was a time travel show. And I watched that. That was the only current program I watched. Then they took Timeless off the air. I'm done. I'm through. That's all there is to it. I've had it with current television. That's all I watch is classic. It says here, I think the truth is much more simple. It was a Chinese biological weapon, and something went horribly wrong. Someone pointed out a symbol of the Chinese company that most likely responsible for this virus looks awfully like the Umbrella Corporation from the Resident Evil zombie stories. Yes, I've seen that. Yeah, that's just it. That's just it. I really, it's just amazing. All this stuff. And, like I said before, the primetime TV today is nothing but reality. These talent contests, the American Idol, all this stuff. It's overrated. I just think it is. I think that it's all overrated. This is just too much in the air. That's why I go back to a time when you turn on the TV, escaped with a good story, a good crime story. Perry Mason, a good courtroom drama. That's garbage called television today. And that's just it. I've had it. I don't really watch any television at all, I would say. Maybe just YouTube and Tubi, stuff like that. Pluto TV on my Roku box. That's pretty much it. Because that's why I stick to streaming, YouTube, and audiobooks. And do audiobooks too. Listen to the Bible. That's what I had to do. That's simple. The Gary Russen program on the GJRB Online is the Saturday Extra. And this is where we just open up the show. And the extra meaning that it's a extra show of the week. And it's basically circulating around some of the stuff that happened within the week. And some extra things like music, talk, wide open, try to show, kind of like Mike Myers. He does a good, you have a good show. But sometimes I just do a show with no material. I just do it right off the cuff. I just, mess around and find stories online and stuff. To my phone and everything. So that's pretty much how I do that. And I find some interesting stuff that you won't find anywhere else. Some stories that from other sources. So that's how I do that. Just a fun way of doing stuff here. And you're listening to the Gary Russen program Saturday. You want to dump in on this show? I should really do now is open up my Skype. I think I'll do that. I think I'll just open up my Skype here real quick because I usually have some interesting things on there. And sometimes, let's make it active. I'm going to make myself active on Skype. You can call me on Skype at Gary.Russen. All you have to do is when you go into your Skype, if you have a Skype account, go into that top line, type in Gary.Russen. It'll take you right into that, and you just hit that dial button. Or if you're a Facebook follower, friend of mine on Facebook, you can call me that way too. All you do is get in and go into the chat room and hit that dial button. Or you can just talk to me right here like Ed Delgado's doing, the Caramel Conservative here. Just be on the air. And this is the fun way of doing the radio here on GRB Online, here on Spreaker. And this is where we have fun. Transmitter for my 9-foot closed circuit, which I'm on the air here. Spreaker FM, 8.9 KSPR LP FM, low powered on the FM radio dial of the neighborhood of 28th Avenue North on Clinton's North End. And we're just talking about news. And every once in a while, I have to go into my internet to pull up something because I have to readjust my phone. It's dying again. I got the cord. I might just have to plug it in for a little bit over into the computer. So there's my other. there's my other stylus. I was looking for that. I had it here the whole time. Imagine that. For something. Let's see. Sometimes my old fat finger doesn't work. Just be plugged. Let's see. So this phone in so that I get some power here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pull up here and okay, it's not doing that. All right. Well, was just gonna do weather on the 5s anyway and some national temperatures. So why don't I pull that up here and do our
nationwide weather update. This is GJRB's weather on the 5.
Okay, and usually what I do right there is I usually come up with the temperatures across the nation via our good friends at the Weather Underground. You know, Weather Underground's a fabulous thing, that Weather Underground. It's which is the source of their nation and the national weather from different parts of the country, and I love doing that. It's one of my favorite parts of the show, giving you your weather forecast. 60 degrees in Los Angeles right now and cloudy. We're getting close to their temperatures. 54 degrees in Des Moines, Iowa, just halfway across the state. Over in Paducah, Kentucky, 50 degrees in sunshine. Houston, Texas, checking in 54. No, 64. My eyes deceive me. Partly cloudy, 64 degrees. And in Fairbanks, Alaska, it's 12 degrees. Back in my hometown of Ambridge, Pennsylvania, just near Pittsburgh, the outskirts, it's 45 degrees right now. Las Vegas, Nevada, 58 degrees and cloudy, 67 in Port St. Lucie. And Truckee, California, and Sierra Nevada is 52 degrees under fair skies. And those are some of the temperatures across the nation. Weather on the 5s, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on the Good Times, Great Oldies Show, and Rock Worship. And any time in the hour that ends in 5, 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55 past the GJRB line. Yeah. Alrighty, it's getting close to the top of the hour, and I think we're just going to skip that hard spot and just remain doing 50 minutes of total nonstop talk. Just do 50 minutes of nonstop talk. No promo breaks whatsoever at the hour. So that's how I usually do sometimes, just so that I can get more stuff in here. Oh yeah, weather. Laugh out loud. We went from balls cold, from sub-zero wind chills the other day to 42 degrees. I am grilling. Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, 42 degrees. We have here in Clinton, Iowa. We're supposed to get into the low 50s. Matter of fact, let me see here. I'm going to go to my page here. Our current temperature for Clinton, Iowa right now is 50 degrees. Feels like it's 50 degrees right now in Clinton, Iowa. 50. Can you imagine that? 50. It's like, wow. But, I think we predicted. They said we were going to get an early spring. What do you think about that? Because, the old groundhog did predict that we were going to get an early spring. And it looks like we could get that. 52 degrees. 52 is expected in Clinton, Iowa. Although we are at 50 right now. Which not bad. 50s. Good with that. Yeah. 50 degrees. I think we're going to get in some good weather. I believe we're going to get in some good weather. Listen to that. My music's playing slow. Good grief. I don't know about this. I really don't have no clue. I'm going to have to do something different with the program, and I'm going to have to put all my hard brakes on my I'm going to have to move my hard brakes. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to move my hard brakes. That's weird. Somehow my computer gave me two I don't really get to Spreaker Studios up. How the heck did that happen? Anyway, what the heck am I on? Why do I got two up? Don't need really two up, do I? Why did they give me two up? That's weird. I never had that before. Anyway, let's see. Anyway, it's 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, 5 o'clock Eastern, and it's 2 o'clock Pacific. And you're listening to GJRB Online, Clinton, Iowa. This is the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, and we're doing a freestyle today. I might do some, I'm going to play some music, looking to see if maybe perhaps Facebook would post my favorite. I have a page on my Facebook that has, and what they do is they give me the charts for today in a certain year, and sometimes they post it, and sometimes they don't. And I usually like to do that. They'll give me like the top 10 for like this week in 1965 or something like that. And I have not seen that yet today. And that's usually one of my favorite features. They'll give me the top 10 for a certain year. I love doing that part. That's one of my favorite features. But I'll see what we can do if we can find it. I'm going to look at my Facebook and see if they have anything up on that. But meanwhile, I think what I'm going to do is so we can find some more people out there. I've got Ed Delgado in the studio, which is absolutely fabulous. And thanks, Ed, for joining me today. I really appreciate that. Okay. That's just something else. Okay. You're welcome to join the show. Hope everybody who might be listening to me in the second hour of the program will join me in the chat room. You can join me by getting in on there, and fairly easy how to do that. You know what I mean? You just have to do that. All right. And all you have to do is get into my Spreaker room, and by going to www.spreaker.com, and that's /user/5120525, or just get into my Twitter account. It's very easy. I am the Radio Maniac. You'll see the antique radio emblem, and it also pulls up the GJRB Online stream, so you can go right into this program. It'll take you right to the page. And you can say hi. You can look at all the great podcasters that follow me. And, be a part of the show. And it's always fabulous when we get some more people in here. And we have Ed Delgado in the studio. Which he was in the studio, but he's not. He's over in Wisconsin. The beautiful state of Wisconsin. And he's grilling out today. And a beautiful day today, so up there, I'm sure. And you're welcome to be part of the program, and stick with me. President accounted for, yeah. So I think we're just gonna. I should just pull up something really good anyway, just for music, because I think I need a music break. Also, pins here on my JRB list. I'm thinking about I have a lot of new emerging artists anyway. I've got enough to do a show where I don't have to play any popular stuff. I just love the popular stuff. I don't care. But, I'm thinking about even making a record. I might even have my own chart system for a lot of the new emerging artists that I play. Because I have a lot of really good ones. And I have a lot of stuff in heavy rotation. But I still love to play stuff like this, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just don't care. I'm gonna play it anyway. Yeah, better believe it. GJRB Online, Gary J. Russen here with you. This is the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. Take it back to the late 80s for Along the Mile, song about Elvis Presley. Yeah, Black Velvet. GJRB.
Mississippi, in the middle of a dry spell. Jimmy Rogers on the Victrola up high. Mama's dancing, his baby on her shoulder. The sun is setting like molasses in the sky. The boy could sing, knew how to move. Everything, always wanting more. He laid you longing for black velvet and that little boy smile. Black velvet with that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. Up in Memphis, the music's like a heat wave. White lightning bound to drive you wild. Mama's baby's in the heart of every schoolgirl. Love me tender, leaves me crying in the aisle. The way you moved, it was a song, so sweet and true. Always wanting more. He laid you longing for black velvet and that little boy smile. Black velvet and that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. Every word of every song that he sang was for you. In a flash, he was gone. It happened so soon. What could you do? Black velvet and that little boy smile. Black velvet and that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. Black velvet and that little boy smile. Black velvet and that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. If you please. If you please.
Oh yeah, that was my top 40. You better believe it. That was when music was music. Tell you what. Along the Miles, 1989. That was out. Great song. About Elvis. Song called Black Velvet. Gary J. Russen on GJRB Online, Breaker across America and around the world, wherever you're listening on the internet, whether it be devices, iPhones, and any kind of phone that picks up Spreaker, or if you have a tablet or any little device that picks up radio, like Spreaker, then you got it. GJRB Online Network. GJRB Online Network. It's kind of a station, flagship station network. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't count the 9-foot closed circuit FM signal we have circulating around our little neighborhood there. I don't care. I'll talk about it. The FCC can't do nothing to me because that is just a puny little FM signal. It plugs into a device like a radio or one of those iPhones or something like that, so you can listen to it over the radio in your car or something. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just a puny little transmitter. I don't know. Was that FCC Part 15, something like that? Because I know I heard the other day that they're cracking down on pirate radio, pirate operations. But this doesn't go that far. And I really quite think they should give the AM dial and the FM dial to the American citizens. After all, they're turning everything to digital. They're banning the FM and AM dial like they did television. What are you going to do with all those stupid frequencies? Come on. Really. Be honest with you. I just think the big corporations took all the radio stations and made nothing but big business out of them. Radio is just as bad as television as far as current times now. Because radio became so impersonal that in the AM FM stations, the DJs go in. And I'm telling you right now, I probably would have been doing that if I would have been working for that station in Kewanee, which is near Chicago. It's not, no, it's not near Chicago. It's just southeast of here. It's an FM block of stations. There's like a block of stations in one building, 2 AM, 2 FM, that was owned by the local paper, I think there. I don't know if they are a regional. I can't remember that. Regional something. Regional. Anyway, they're a station that serves Kewanee, Cambridge, and Geneseo, Illinois. And the radio station in the town that's in, and I've been in Kewanee, I mean, the town has one big Walmart. It's like a lot of residential district there. When I drove through it to go to that radio station, because I had to find the studios are just located in this house. Looks like a house anyway. Which is like, it's a small building, but yet they fit 4 stations into it. And it's around the curb there. When you pull it, I'm surprised that no one who drove drunk didn't slam into the studios. I mean, this is really along the road. Anyway, getting back to it, the DJs go in, and they voice track their show, and they leave. So what you're listening to when you turn your radio on to listen to anything is a recording of a disc jockey. He's not even in the booth. That is just impersonal. This is what radio's turned out to be. Nothing but big business. It goes, I almost got to that point that the DJ were so celebrity, they and the radio are essentially inaccessible to the average person. Probably why I love podcasting, because it's literally everyday people on the air. You're right. Could you imagine if they gave the AM/FM dial to the citizens? It would be like the CB radio was. I mean, really. I mean, it would be so noisy on all AM and FM that they couldn't do anything with it anyway. But the point that I'm trying to say is that the mom and pop corporation, the little mom and pop companies that used to own radio stations back in the 60s and the 70s, and the AM/FM stations that were owned by mom and pop operations, is no more. But those mom and pop operations, which I almost got a job back home in Ambridge, which is a small town just outside Pittsburgh, just on the outskirts there. We had AM WBA, which was on 1460 on AM And it was like they were the last station, I think, to play music before they went to talk. But from what I understand, they combined with a station in nearby Beaver Falls, which was on AM 1230, and I think they got a guy in there that plays oldies on the weekends. So they're still like doing live radio back there at that small town station. And I tried to get on that station. They were, at the time I was a kid, wanted to work there. They were a daytime operation, which means they went off the air. They had to go off the air at sundown. And I wanted to work there because in the summer they would have the request line show, and it would stay on the air until almost 9 o'clock. I think they went off the air like 8:45 in the summer. And I wanted to work there so bad. I could have had that request line show. I was trying to get it. It was on from 5 o'clock until like 8:45 in the summer. And boy, I wanted that show so bad. Man, I'll never forget how I tried. My fantasy was to take over the request line because that was such a great job. What they would do is they would record the person who would call in to request a song, and they would record their voice, introduce the song. They would you call in the program, and basically get your voice on the air, requesting the song, and then they would play it. And I saw him do it one time. Real fun. He had a big honking reel-to-reel in studio, and he would have that set up with a phone system, and they would record the request and then play it on the air. It was pretty darn cool. I watched him do it half a dozen times. It was something I wanted to do, and I tried to mimic that, but how many voices can one do to pretend that? I used to do all kinds of stuff to try to get on the radio. I mean, I can't tell you how many audition tapes I recorded. I mean, I can't even count on my fingers and toes. And every one of them probably ended up in the trash can. I mean, really. So, here it is. Maybe it's best I didn't get into it because I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be happy with the way they're running things, and I would say so. And I'd be vocal about it. And more than likely, I would have got fired anyway. So, whatever the case. Because I just believe that radio has become so impersonal that it's pathetic. It is. And, to be able to take the board and be able to do a live show. And I have nothing against automation. That's a great thing. I mean, it's really fabulous how automation works. Seeing old automation equipment. But it's like, come on. Anybody can do that. But how many people can sit in the booth for 4 hours and do a show? Yeah. An actual show. These young ones today do not have the skills that we did when we started radio. To have to learn how to cue up a record and take phone calls. To have the cartridges ready for the next commercial break. Just everything's so freaking simple. Everything is all on computer. Alrighty, you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online here on Spreaker, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And I know I'm kind of ranting and raving this afternoon. Like I said, like quoting Hawkeye on MASH, my rants get raves. And maybe not. And we got a lot more stuff coming up. I think I have a few more news stories to cover it. But we're going to see what's going on nationally in weather, with weather on the fives, if my Weather Nation works. Yesterday it got stuck on me, and ended up had it on hold, and then what happened was it jumped out and skipped, because I usually put the temperatures on hold, and there it goes. Yep. All right. There we go. So I'm going to roll that right now and do our weather on the 5s right now, and see what's going on nationwide in our weather with our weather on the 5s here on GJRB Online, the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra.
Nationwide weather update. This is GJRB's weather on the 5s.
All right, let's take a look at some temperatures across America right now, and it's 48 degrees in Bismarck. So even the North Dakota, South Dakota is getting warm. 48 degrees, 50 degrees in Billings, Montana. 45 degrees in Seattle, Washington. 54 in Portland, Oregon. 50 degrees in Chicago. 47 degrees in Omaha, Nebraska. 58 in Wichita, Kansas. 53 degrees right now in Little Rock, Arkansas. So some of those areas, I mean, even some of the cold areas are getting warm, which is absolutely fabulous. I can't say any more than that. It's incredible. And let's see if we can find out. Lately, I've been having trouble getting the weather set on here. So I might not do weather on. I'm just going to do temperatures because I have to work on this weather on the 5s. Tonight's temperature in Spokane, Washington, 34 degrees. 28 degrees Boise, 23 degrees Elko, 51 degrees in Portland, Oregon for tomorrow. 45 in 45. It's going to be warm. 45 in Billings, Montana. 48 degrees in Rapid City, South Dakota. It'll be 34 in Fargo, North Dakota. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 46. And I'm not getting any audio from my weather source here, or my Roku box, and why? Because I don't have it plugged in. Gotta make sure I have it plugged in before I get started. Okay, let me see.
Was up North Carolina and looking freshly white.
Weather Nation right now.
If you look really closely, there's a few people out there hiking there along the ridge line. Pretty cool view there. Good perspective of all the snow that fell. And of course, Steve, in the lower elevations, most of that snow has melted off.
It has warmed up, but it was after a cold couple of nights,
That's
including last night. It dropped to 20 to 25 degrees at a lot of these locations.
Yeah, let's take a look at those temperatures because it is downright chilly this morning. We got down into the 20s and 30s. Things will be improved as we go into the days ahead, however.
They will be, and I know you're watching that next cold blast of air that comes in about the second half of this week.
Yeah, kind of some ups and downs here in the eastern and southeastern U.S. Again, they could promise here are your low temperatures. We were down to the 20s and 30s, even Jacksonville dipping down to about 35 degrees for that morning low temperature. And we even had a weird low in Charleston, South Carolina, 24 degrees this morning, surpassing the old record of 25 set back in 1947. Temperatures right now have rebounded nicely. Charleston, you are in the mid-50s now. Tampa, Miami, low 70s, but that's a bit below normal. And you'll notice 50s elsewhere throughout the region. 60 in New Orleans right now. Mornings there easy for tonight. Another expected with some 20s and 30s in the forecast. A close look here showing perhaps some of the coldest readings from Birmingham through Wilmington, Greenville down towards Jacksonville. That's where we're likely to see some of the cooler readings for tonight. And as such, we've got freeze and frost alerts posted. Frost advisory for Lake City up towards southeastern Georgia. Around Waycross, Georgia, it's a freeze warning as we're expecting the coldest temperatures in that area. Now, things look a lot milder in the days ahead. The early part of next week, we're going to see those numbers rise well into the 50s and 60s across much of the east. Look at Omaha, Chicago, all the way to Boston in the 50s already for Sunday. And then on Monday, we'll see it drop off a bit to the north, but staying pretty comfortable. Above average for certain. We'll see 40s, 50s, and 60s, and some 80s returning to South Florida. And then on Tuesday, we'll also see again another mild day across the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and everywhere down to the Gulf Coast. But things will be changing as we see a change. We're going to see some cold air in Canada as we see a big trough, and that's going to allow temperatures to fall a bit below average into the middle part end of next week. Minneapolis, case in point, will be in the mid and upper 20s. As we take a look at your Pittsburgh forecast, we're going to be going from the low 50s down to the low 30s between Wednesday and Thursday. Last stop here, Memphis, Tennessee. A bit of a roller coaster ride here, that's for certain. We'll crest high of 62 on Monday and drop on off into the 40s by Wednesday and Thursday. Across the southeastern U.S., Steve, it's pretty dry. We have a few showers out there, but most of the action is a bit further to the west.
There is, and most of the country is largely quiet today, which on a Saturday we will take. Here's the nationwide picture where you see 80 to 90% of the country be fine. But through the site, we have a little bit of shower activity, nothing electric, no thunderstorms. But through the space and treasure coasts of the east coast of Florida, pesky onshore wind building the waves, giving us some higher surf, some stronger rip currents as well. As a few showers and through the Palm Bay area, down through the Outer Barrier Islands near Fort Pierce, Jensen Beach, Sewell's Point, and through Stewart, and then those are drifting across Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade County. And nothing severe with it, but just a little bit of nuisance as you try to enjoy your Saturday. Here across the southwestern United States, much more active weather. And you look a little bit more closely at Southern California. We have a couple of scattered downpours and storms. One that was near Malibu, also Newport, and this is just all rotating right in Southern California. Some small hail, also some cloud-to-ground lightning strikes possible here, and you're seeing about a dozen lightning strikes within the last 10 minutes, so about 1 per minute in this region. Also over the Viper radar in the Vegas area, mostly rain, little high elevation snow as you look to the west of Vegas, but overall more so rain right along the border of Nevada and California. We've got a couple of scattered thunderstorms there too. So wet at times through Vegas, LA, San Diego, even to Bakersfield, as well as Phoenix to Flagstaff. Phoenix has dried out for now, just the eastern side, but we're building just east of I-17 and through I-40. Some steady rain, mostly rain here as well. And through the four corners of the United States, it is more so turning into snow just east of Cedar City, Utah. Not quite building into Colorado will tonight. Our other storm is arriving in the northwest, and Portland, Oregon, fine for now, clouds increasing. It's going to be a wet Sunday for Portland.
It will indeed. So this was the pick day of the weekend. Tomorrow, not the greatest of days, as our storm track takes our next batch of rain into the Pacific Northwest, not only for Oregon, Washington.
And there you go. The weather on the 5s brought to you by Weather Nation, where you can find all your weather 24/7. Weather Nation. Available on Roku and on Pluto TV on your Roku box. Weather Nation, and probably some of your cable companies have it too as well. Weather Nation, great fabulous people bringing you the weather here on GJRB on here on Spreaker. Gary J. Russell with you. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the program. We got some more program stuff coming up, so I hope you'll stay with me for that. And we're going to be bringing you some really good programming here. So keep it here on GJRB on here on Spreaker. And thank you for tuning in. And up to this next half hour, we'll do 50 minutes of non-stop talk and music, another 50. And we'll have on this more music, some more talk. And your conversations are welcome on the Gary Russell program Saturday after a little bit as well. So stay with me for that. And a lot of good stuff away. So keep it right here on GJRB. I'm Gary Jason. This is the Saturday. We'll be right back.
Street music is back on GJRB Bluegrass with the Grass Golds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too.
On GJRB.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players, and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time, and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's sports page. Join me for Sports Page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB.
The blues, the primary start to rock and roll music, the music in which artists express their feelings through music. This is a new blues show featuring the best of the blues, with new emerging artists getting their thrill of hearing their selections played along with the greats like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and Etta James, along with a whole lot more.
The doors open soon.
To the Blues House on GJRB.
Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.MeWe.com. That's M-E-W-E. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land.
And we're back. The Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GJRB Online. It's 4:33 Central Standard Time, 5:33 Eastern Time, and it's 2:33 Pacific, 1:33 Alaska Time. I'm Gary J. Russen. Back to the show, and we're going to start now 50 minutes of non-stop talk, conversation, music, and all kinds of fun stuff on the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. So stay with me. We're going to have a good time. We're talking a lot of stuff. We're going to do our Spreaker shout-outs and promotions. Spreaker Bean shout-outs and promotions coming up later on. And I want to thank Elgato for joining us in the booth today. I should say in the booth. In the booth. What am I saying that for? Jeez. Anyway. Anyway. Glad to be part of the program anyway. Glad you could be in here. We've had Ed through the show, and I appreciate his loyalty to stay in with us and be on the show. You know, one person, you got one person, maybe you got them all. And who knows what could come of that. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Yes, Gary J. Russen here on GJRB Online, and the Caramel Conservative with us, and of course, the man that his rants gets raves. The Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online, and thought I would just kind of throw in some interesting stuff. I saw this story here. Tiger Woods' ex-wife, and I can't pronounce it. Elein, Nordegren, I guess I pronounce it. Steps out with boyfriend Jordan Cameron after changing son's name. I'll tell you, how low can she go? The ex-wife of Tiger Woods? She's the ex-wife. Okay, I get it. But anyway, Tiger Woods changed her youngster's name. Elin Nordegren was spotted outside of Florida with her boyfriend, former NFL player Jordan Cameron, and their 4-month-old, and as noted by the Daily Mail, two had gone to the courthouse to legally change the name of their son from Philip to Arthur. No reason was given for their change of heart. It goes on to say, back in October, Nordegren was spotted during the final days of her pregnancy. The former model was spotted walking laps while her daughter Sam was at practice. Nordegren married Woods in October 2004 after getting a divorce in August 2010, thanks to Woods' headline-making cheating scandal. This is what you get when you get famous, too, you know? Anyway, you go to on to receive a $100 million settlement. After the split, Nordegren dated billionaire mining entrepreneur Chris Klein, on and off for like about a few years, up until about July 2016. And then last July, Klein sadly died in a helicopter crash off the coast of the Bahamas with 6 others, just 1 day shy of his 61st birthday. Imagine that. And it wasn't until June of last year that her relationship with Cameron was made public. Not long after that, it was confirmed she was pregnant with a newly named Arthur, and it's the couple's first child together. Wasn't that special? Anyhow, you know, that's what fame does. You know, you got this kind of stuff. Imagine that. All right, I got another interesting story here. Let's see if I can find it. I saved it, and it was an interesting story I had at the beginning of the show. Oh, you hear about that? Let me see. Let me find some other story here. Oh, yeah. What do you think about this bit with Roger Stone? Good grief. What's up with that one? Prosecutors say for 7 to 9 year prison sentence for him. He's getting, it's amazing that President Trump hasn't commuted his sentence. It's a wonder about that. I mean, oh, man. The dirty politics keeps on going, folks. The wheels keep turning. Let's see. 2020 Nevada caucuses. The Elizabeth Warren's campaign announced today, hours before Nevada's caucuses started, that they have raised $14 million. $14 million. The campaign doubled their initial goal. And what do you think about this? What was that? I can't even pronounce his name. That former Buttigieg or whatever his name is. You see him kissing his. It was sick, totally sick. I mean, really. I mean, why do we have to have this kind of display of affection? And this is just shoving the gay agenda down our throat. You know what I'm saying? It was just ridiculous. I don't care. I butchered his name. Oh well. I mean, it's just this Buttigieg or whatever his name is. This whole display of affection was unnecessary. It's just sickening. Really is. I mean, what is wrong with people? I mean, we have to go through this whole screw. Never mind. Don't want to turn this into an explicit show. As I said, I'm proud to say that my shows never have an explicit mark on it. I'm like that. I'm a strong belief in keeping it clean. Oh, maybe that's why Bob Huber doesn't listen to this anymore here on Spreaker and GJRB. We're too clean. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. I haven't got a chance to listen to Bob since is he on Tuesday now? And is he steady on Tuesday afternoon, or is that just move around all the time? Because I can never catch a show. Anyway, I haven't been able to for quite some time. Anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, Bernie Sanders. Call me Bernie. That man ought to just check himself into an old folks home. Seriously. It's just. Yeah, he puts something out whenever he's in the mood. Yeah, I believe that. I don't know. I kind of was wondering about that whole bit with him and Mike, and I'm not going to say any more, but jeez, man. I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for him that he lost his show, but if I was a millionaire, I'd buy everybody's Spreaker plan. It's 5 hours. Really. If I had the money, if I was a millionaire. I mean, I help him out. I really would. That guy is a trip. I want to get him on my sports show because there's a man who knows his sports. I mean, he got to be doing a sports page with me. Seriously. Let's see here. Well, I'm looking for. Let's see. Let's flip back over because sometimes this phone gets stuck. I don't know what's up with this thing. And I need to charge my wife's old phone. It needs it. It got stuck. I wanted to find that story about Elizabeth Warren. I said she's supposed to drop out. I don't know, I heard that once. Let's see. And this whole bit, what's really scary though is Bloomberg. If he picks, is he really going to pick Hillary Clinton as running mate? I won't vote for that guy. I'm sorry, I will not vote. I don't want Hillary in the White House. I do not want Hillary in the White House. I do not. I will not vote for that man for dog catcher. Not vote for Bloomberg. That's for sure. If Hillary's his running mate, no way. No way. Let's see here. I'm waiting for this to load up. It's taking forever. Okay. I use this with this. I don't know if you ever heard this app. It's called Headline. It's called Newsbreak. It's a great app. I love this thing. But the thing about it is, it's slow. It's good soundbite, but I doubt he will. He's trying to buy his way in. Yeah, it could be. And what way to do that is to pick Hillary Clinton as your running mate. It's just I mean, big name and everything. Yeah, that's what that is. Anyway, come on. What is up with this thing? It takes forever for this thing to load up. Okay. All right. He'd be dead by Christmas. Yeah, you're probably right there. I said that the other day, too. I said, if Bloomberg were to run and he'd become president and Hillary Clinton is his running mate, they would kill Bloomberg to get Hillary Clinton in office. Seriously. I believe it. I believe that there could be an assassination plan there. I can see that happening. No doubt. Suicide? Maybe. That's possible. There's nothing to that story. Okay, no. Okay, it's a CNN live feed. CNN live feed, the 2020 Nevada caucuses. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Sorry, suicide. Yeah, suicide. You know why he'd be committing suicide, don't you, Bloomberg? Having Hillary as your running mate? Well, I think that would kind of make me want to exit. That's just simple. Really. That would definitely, that's cause for exit. No doubt. Yeah. The Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GRB Online. You're welcome to be on the program. And if there's anybody catching us live, if not, I hope you enjoyed this should be a pretty good afterthought. I always call the on-demand after it's over an afterthought. I like to call it that. Afterthought. After we're off the air and the podcast, the on-demand podcast is up, I call that an afterthought. Yeah. Doors closed Saturday at Democrats in caucuses in Nevada, with party officials hoping to avert an Iowa-style disaster. And Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, the commie, looking to prove that his general election medal with a strong showing in the most diverse state in the Democrats' nominated contest thus far. And while polling is notoriously difficult in Nevada, Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden are jockeying for the lead in the Silver State. With Sanders raising, Sanders is raising after his team built deep organizing roots in the state, particularly within the Latino community. And some 8 months ago, An entrance poll Saturday showed Sanders with an early lead in the initial preference of caucus goers. You know why they're doing that? Sanders, he's all for bringing all these people over the border. He's a New World Order fanatic. No doubt about it. This old man just definitely needs to go into a old folks home and play kick the can. Sanders protected the conference of a front runner Friday by steering his campaign toward upcoming Tuesday contest in California and Texas, holding a midday rally in Santa Ana, California Friday, with a last stop in Las Vegas on Friday night before a full slate of events in Texas, and that's, I believe, today. And what is it? Yeah, and what was that other one? Now, I just heard this one the other day. Yesterday. This whole bit that now there was a story out stating, and whether or not I believe it or not, but they're saying that Vladimir Putin has already had plans to interfere in the 2020 elections. And Trump says it's all bunk, it's all fake news. The Russians are polling for Sanders. It wouldn't surprise me. He's the number one communist on their list. It's just that simple. He is. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. No doubt. I couldn't agree with you more. But hey, here we go. Wouldn't this be interesting? If they were to pull for Sanders, and let's say they help Sanders get to be elected, and Sanders gets elected, and they'll accuse him of this. Well, no, wait a minute. If Sanders gets elected to help with the Russians, there won't be any blame at all. There won't even be an impeachment hearing. Because they love him. Yeah. Your comments welcome. This is Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GGRB Online. 50 minutes of total non-stop talk and music. And you never know where I'll put my weather next. Because, I do weather on the 5s doesn't mean I do weather on 25 and 55. Anytime in the hour it ends in 5 here on GGRB Online. So if I'm rolling with the flow, why stop for weather? We've already heard it. Alrighty. It's a beautiful day here in Clinton. Yeah, we're getting about 10 minutes to 5 o'clock Central Standard Time right now, and it's still daylight. I love it. Yeah. Well, then about, let's see. Today is the 22nd. I'd say within about, 2 weeks, daylight savings time. We'll be turning the clocks ahead 1 hour. Coming up. And some states are planning on making it permanent. Iowa talking about it. It was in their legislature, and I think it passed. I'm not sure, but I think it passed. And they're saying, now I'm confused about this, though. Let's say some states go to daylight savings time permanently, but then some states in the fall go back to Eastern Standard Time. Isn't that kind of a conflict in time? Wouldn't that mean that some states would be in their own time zone? See, I'm wondering about that. Let's say some states pass it, some states don't. Okay, Iowa, I think, was one that decided they were going to do permanent daylight savings time. And as according to an article in our Clinton Herald newspaper, dated February 13th, my birthday, as I kept my birthday paper, and stated there to have more sunshine, more shopping, benefits daylight savings time. The Iowa Senate subcommittee voted unanimously to advance legislation toward making daylight savings time permanent. So, I mean, I don't know, conflict of interest? I don't know. It says, I would be different than how Arizona has done things. So, is there a time difference between Arizona and another state? Because Arizona, and I have to look. See, I have, you know what you ought to try? NIST. Put that in your search engine. It'll come up with the clock, their time clock. They changed their website on there. It's fabulous. It's got the whole layout of the United States map and all the time zones. All the time zones from Eastern to Alaska. It's absolutely incredible. I think they did a good job with it. It's let me see if I can get it for you. Let's see where it's on here. NIST. I'm going to go to my main page here where I get it. You might hear me skip as that goes up. Excuse me. It's got coordinated universal time. It's time.gov. Go to time.gov and you'll see this awesome site. I think it's so cool. They took all the time zones. They read out the map and color-coded the map. And it's got Standard Time in red, Eastern Standard Time in red, Central Standard Time in yellow, Mountain Standard Time in green, and Pacific Standard Time in orange. And then they go down the blue on the far left-hand side of your screen. You'll see the Alaska Standard Time. It's 1:52 p.m. Down below that's the Aleutian Standard Time. It's 12:53 p.m. So it's like still early in the afternoon. And in Hawaii, it's 12:53 in Hawaii. And Samoa Standard Time, whatever that is, I don't know if that covers Alaska or not. Samoa Standard Time, it's 11:53, so it's not even 12 o'clock noon there yet. So this is a cool site. Time.gov, go to that. It is cool. I love it. It's wild. And I wonder, like I said, I just wonder how that's going to screw up the time. I would think some states would have to be forced to legislate the permanent daylight savings time. Now, I remember one year this didn't work. I think it was 1974, during the energy crisis. President Nixon passed a bill stating that daylight savings time would be permanent. I remember one fall, we did not change time. It was daylight savings time all winter. It was nice. I kind of liked it because we kind of stayed out and played a little longer. I got to stay outside till I was still like maybe 11, 12 years old. I think it was maybe bordering on 13. It was 12. And we'd play outside. I got to play outside until like maybe 6:30. Something like that. Because I'm from Pittsburgh, Eastern time. And it was kind of nice to be able to be outside till 6:30. I could do my homework, and still when I got done with it, it'd still be daylight, and I could go out and play. It was really nice. I really liked that. It was really great. And I think it failed. As I remember straight, I think it only lasted a year before it went back to standard time. It didn't work. It was during the 1974 energy crisis, so I think I was like about 13. But I remember it well. And it was weird because, it's daylight savings time. There was still snow on the ground. And it's staying light till like 6:30. And it was nice. Loved it. And but my dad was saying that it's useless because it's still going to get dark even at 6:30, and you're still going to have to turn lights on. I remember the energy crisis like it was yesterday. I remember Chris telling us not to keep our lights on very long. Gotta run, brother. Dinner is ready. All right. Thanks a lot. Hey, Ed, thanks a lot for coming in, okay? I really appreciate that. I really do. And thank you for being on the show, being with us in the show for a while. And if you happen to have to leave now, just listen to the podcast later. It'll be available here on the GJRB Spreaker Public site. And you can check out the show later. And this is GJRB Online. I'm Gary J. Russen. It's 4 minutes before the hour of 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock Eastern. And you're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, right here on GJRB Online. We'll do weather on the 5s coming up. And we'll talk some more about different things. And I'm going to look around for some more stuff and some more good music and stuff. I'm going to see if I can find a countdown. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. Sometimes they post it on Facebook and sometimes they don't. So you have good eats. Hope you enjoy your food tonight. Ed, thanks a lot for being on the show. Alrighty. All right, you listen to Gary Russen program on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Always a pleasure having the show on here. And join here, and we'll be right back with more of the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra after we take this break on the GJRB Online Network right here on Spreaker. Alrighty then.
GJRB Bluegrass with the Grass Goals, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites, too.
On GJRB.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's Sports Page.
Join me for Sports Page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB. The blues. The primary start to rock and roll music. The music in which artists express their feelings through music. This is a new blues show featuring the best of the blues, with new emerging artists getting their thrill of hearing their selections played along with the greats like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and Etta James, along with a whole lot more. The doors open soon. To the Blues House on GJRB. Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.mewe.com. That's M-E-W-E. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site. Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land. And we're back on the air here on GJRB Online, the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. In the final hour of our program, it's 5 o'clock Central Standard Time right now, 6 o'clock Eastern, and it is now 3 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock in Alaska. And I'm Gary J. Russen. Welcome to the show. I hope you'll stay with me for our last hour of the program, the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. In our final hour, we're going to do some different things here this hour, including give you our Spreaker shout-outs and promotions. That's coming up in this hour. We'll also give you our program schedule, what we got coming up on GJRB this week, some of the things we're going to do tentatively, and a whole lot of other things as we wrap up our show for this Saturday afternoon. And see what's going on here on GJRB Online. We'll have a little bit more news and some music and stuff like that. So 50 minutes of about a little less than 24 minutes or so left of our 50 minutes of non-stop talk and music here on GJRB Online. A little less than about, actually, Yeah, I'd say about 24 minutes because I do weather on the 5s or 25 after, and we usually do a promo break and stuff like that afterward. So I'd say we'd go into that, but pretty much that. And in this time period, we'll just kind of do stories and news stories and stuff that I find on my news break site. And we'll do weather on the 5s one more time for Clinton, Iowa. We'll take a look at some national temperatures. And then the Saturday kickback show. So join me. North Korea is reporting and reports on some 8-fold jump in viral infections. This is a report coming out of CBS. As soon as it goes into its spiel here, while we try to get that on there. Sometimes my phone goes black and then decides it's going to take forever to come up. I'm practicing that. I really am. I'm going to try to work on getting news break on another source here. But this is how I have to put up with. Anyway, South Korea said on Saturday that's today, reported that 8-fold jump in viral infections in the past 4 days to 433, most of them linked to the church and a hospital in or around the nation's 4th largest city, where health workers are scrambling to screen thousands of worshipers. Later, let's see here. Okay, it's going to go to news break. Okay, it's going to go back to news break, and I'm going to lose that story. That figures. But anyway, that's what they're saying. If I find that story, I'll continue it. Otherwise, once I get this printer going, I'll be able to print these stories up. Copy and paste, you know what I'm saying? I always do copy paste. I love copy. Hey, by the way, speaking of copy paste, you're the guy that died who created that just recently. And I don't know if I saved that story or not, but I have to check my. I'll check my. See if I can find that on my Facebook. I'm gonna go out of that because I'm not getting anywhere with it. If I find that other story on Korea, I'll read it to you. Other than that, that's how that goes here. The other phone is kind of burning out, so I'm not using it at this point. I think the trick is to have all my stories ready so I can go fire off back to back to back to back. But it's hard to do that, and that's why I'm doing this show leisurely. I'm not really worried about too much about the other stuff here because I have to work with my phone. And until I get this to work the way I want it to for me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my Facebook page, back to Facebook. See if I can find that story. The guy who probably invented copy paste has died. And that's the guy who created what we use on our devices. The copy paste has died. So I'm going to see if I can find that story. I don't know if I have that or not. I thought I saved that story in my saved column, but I'd have to look to see if I have that, where I even put it. I might even put it in the news. I'm going to check and see if I can find that. Weather in the news. We should do weather in the news coming up. We'll be doing weather for Clinton, Iowa coming up here on GJRB Online. So stand by. Weather on the 5s for Clinton, Iowa. I don't think we have anybody on our Facebook page celebrating a birthday today that I know of. So we're just going to do some celebrity birthdays here in just a little bit. Let's see here. I don't know where I would have done with it. I'm going to check my news column first and see if it's not in there. Here it is. That's what I thought it was here. The man who invented copy-paste has died. And this is an interesting story. Apparently, and his name He was a computer scientist. His name was Larry Tesler. Larry Tesler was a man who was famed for inventing cut-paste. He invented cut, copy, paste function on computers. He has died. The former Xerox, PARC, Apple, Amazon, the Yahoo employee was 74 years old. Tesla might have not been known for being famous as other than revolutionaries in the technology industry, but he created, no doubt, helped millions of people around the world. And I love this cut, copy, paste myself because I use it all the time. Honestly, it would be as if he couldn't cut, copy, and paste text, images, videos, or anything else. Students trying to finish their assignments would be stuffed. Analysts copying data from one spreadsheet to another would have their workloads explode, trying to make it a fire meme, and it would take so much longer. And here we have Larry to thank. Born in America, Mr. Tesler, is it Tesler, went on to Stanford University to study computers and computer science before joining Xerox in Palo Alto and Research Center. In 1973, it was here that he had created the classic Control-C, Control-V, although he was probably way too early to be doing keyboard shortcuts. He was the one who invented cut, copy, paste. He died. According to Gizmodo, Larry, along with Tim Mott, helped to develop the mouse-driven geographical user interface called Gypsy, which was the first version of the computer layout that we know today. Gypsy described as click and type interface, in which the user would or could at any time enter a text at a current insertion point, or click the insertion point, and it would then be repositioned. Sounds basic, but you have to remember this was decades ago, and after coming up with what that is, a groundbreaking technology, he went on to Apple in 1980 until 1997, where he worked in various roles, including vice president of AppleNet and Apple's chief scientist. So he was the genius who came up with what we use now today. And I use it here on Spreaker. I use it here on GJRB. Whenever I'm writing my newscast, I always either cut, copy, or paste news stories to my so I can rearrange and get details for my news. That's just a quick way of writing my newscast. I use it all the time. A cut, copy, paste is fabulous. I'm going to be using that this week because I got to fix my schedule. I'm working on my schedule. I need to fix my schedule graph. And I'd probably be using cut, copy, paste. That's simple. And there it is. Thanks to Mr. Tesler, we use cut, copy, paste. Fabulous. Lovely. Anyway, also I heard about that. Price is Right postponed. We also lost Janet Dubois, who is well known for her singing the theme to the Jeffersons. This week she died. President Trump granting clemency to Rob Blagojevich. Let's continue talking about that one. You're welcome to leave your input on that. And this one, my wife and I were even talking about an Alabama bill now going out. And I'm going, I'm glad I don't live there. I'm telling you. There's an Alabama bill right now, and I'm hoping this comes up real fast. There's an Alabama bill now going out right now forcing men to get vasectomies at the age of 50. Yeah, according to Alabama state representative, they proposed a bill that would require men to undergo vasectomy at the age of 50. He was fathered for a specific number of children. If he's fathered, now this is the beginning of the communist socialist agenda 21. Population control. Yep, this is it. HB 238, filed by the Representative Rolanda Hollis, Democrat out of Birmingham, Democrat that figures, would require a man to undergo this procedure, vasectomy, after the birth of his third biological child or within 1 month of his 50th birthday. The bill also says that this procedure would be done at the man's own expense. So they make him not only get one, but they make him pay for it. Imagine that. Yep. This is your Communist Agenda 21, folks. This is what they're doing. According to the bill, and this is the bill states, quote, under existing law, there's no restrictions on the reproductive rights of men. There's no restrictions on the reproductive rights of men, according to the bill. The bill was introduced into the House Thursday and referring to the House Judiciary Committee. And they reached out to Hollis for more details about that bill. The bill was filed the same day. HB 248, also known as the Born Alive Bill, was reintroduced into the House. And that bill will require a physician to exercise reasonable care to save a child born alive after an abortion or an attempted abortion. Yep. Communist, leftist, socialist, Agenda 21. Right there. Population control. That's what they're doing in China. That's probably why we're blocked in China. Think about it. Anyway, you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed the program. We still got about 45 minutes left to go on our show. But we're going to wind it down and just conclude. I got a lot of other interesting stuff, but this is what we have so far today. You're welcome to join the program, and I hope you're enjoying the show, the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. And might be doing this show next week. I'm going to get a hold of Ben and make sure that he's able to do it by Wednesday. So if we can get a hold, I'm going to get a hold of him. I'm going to leave him a message, and I'm going to message him after I get off the air and say, let me know by Wednesday. Because if he can't do it next Saturday, it'll be the Blues House Live. Right here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. The Blues House Live next week, if he doesn't. If he can, I might even record it anyway. I don't get anybody listening to my music shows. So I don't know, I might even just do that show and the Saturday Extra. I might go on early, maybe it'll be a 2-hour show. So I'd say maybe 1 o'clock we'll do the Blues House, and at 3 o'clock we'll change over to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. It just depends, like I said, on how it goes. I'm going to get a hold of Ben Osman, see if he can do the program. If he cannot, for any reason, do the show, then we will do the Blues House live. So either show is going to air next week. So just watch for postings on the GJRB Spreaker public site. 40 hour to 45 minutes before airtime. It'll be posted on Spreaker, Spreaker Tavern, Meet the Spreakers, and the GJRB Online page, and on the Gary John Facebook page. And here on Spreaker, and I might have my friend Brian help me out with my blog site, because I really want to get that up and done, because what I really want to do is have that up so that I can start posting the show on there. So I can post the station on there, so I can get some more listeners. And maybe perhaps we can get some listeners on next week's show. So maybe I'll do some changes in the program schedule. We'll do the Blues House, and then we'll wrap it up with the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra next week. And I might change it on my schedule graph. That we will, despite the music show, we will do a Saturday Extra right afterward. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have the Blues House voice tracked, because like I said, I don't get any listeners on my live show anyway. I could go back through some old Blues Houses and see if I have any numbers on there. I could probably just play an old one from the last season, because I'm not even sure. I have to look and see where I left off on that Blues House, because the last time I did a show had to have been last year. So I'm going to have to take a look and see if what I have on the computer for the Blues House, and clip it so that I can re-air it, clip the weather out of it and everything, and clip it into segments, and then re-air it with my weather on the fives there. So we'll kind of do that. And of course, when we do recorded programs, weather on the fives is usually my National Weather Service, Weather Underground, and stuff like that. I usually do that, and I don't do Weather Nation on recorded programs, only on live. When I'm on live, I do Weather Nation. Otherwise, all programs were pre-recorded, do not have weather on them, because it's too complicated. It's really, when you think about it, if you replay a show with weather on it, it sounds stupid. It sounds like, people are going, wait a minute, what is this? This is 80 degrees. It's supposed to be cold tomorrow. So that's why I don't like to put, I don't like to leave weather or time checks or anything else on pre-recorded programs. I take them off. I go into the Audacity, and I clip all the time-sensitive material. I get all the times they're located, and then I mark the Audacity file. So I'll take the recorded program, and I'll put it on my flash drive and take it either to the church, studios, or do it here. And I mark down and save the Audacity file. Now the last time I think I did a Blues House, if I'm not mistaken, even a Bluegrass Jubilee, I think it was still on the 45-minute plan yet. So I'm going to do is take those first and then combine them into one show. And then I'll clip out all the time-sensitive material. Usually how I do that. I just do one show, and then I just go through it, and I clip out all the time-sensitive stuff out of it. Program, promo, stuff, whatever. And I got some promos to work on this week. I got to record too, so I'm going to be busy this week in production. I don't even know. I'm thinking about changing the schedule a little bit here. I said I was going to do the Positive Rock Show Emerging Monday this week. I'm going to postpone that another week. So it will not air. I will not do another Positive Rock Show Emerging. I might do some Christian rock tomorrow. More than likely, there's going to be a broadcast tomorrow, so watch for postings. 45 minutes to an hour before airtime. I will probably post a 15-minute preview. And then if you see that or hear that 15-minute preview, we're on. Okay? So if there's no 15-minute preview, no postings, no show. It's that simple. Okay? March 1st falls on on a Sunday. So it's going to be a packed month, because when a month starts on a Sunday, it usually means that we have we're going to have 5 Sundays in the month of March. So I'm looking that things are going to be a little different, and it will have 5 Mondays in the month of March. So this coming Monday, the 24th, I would have had a positive rock show emerging Monday. But I decided I'll postpone that. We are not going to be on the air Monday. We will not be on the air Monday. No show Monday. But we'll be back on with a positive rock show emerging Monday on March 2nd. Okay, March 2nd we'll be on the air for a emerging Monday. No Monday show this coming Monday, the 24th. We will not be on the air, but the following Monday we will with a positive rock show emerging Monday. Okay, so we'll do that. Our next Twin Spin Tuesday will probably be, now the 3rd is kind of a payday kind of thing for us, and we usually have some extra duties to do. So sometimes if a 3rd falls on a Tuesday, and it's usually scheduled Twin Spin Tuesday, there will be no broadcast that day. That schedule will not be active. Monday's schedule will not be active. But the following Tuesday will. Okay. And then Wednesday the 4th, don't know yet. Wednesday the 4th, that would be the first Wednesday of the month. Probably be Gary J in the afternoon according to the schedule. I'll look and see, because I have to work on that today. I will post all this whole schedule after I get off the air today. Okay. But there will be no positive rock show Monday. Just to let you know about that. And I will have all that, I'll have the schedule for you coming up toward the end of the show. Okay? So we'll have that coming up pretty much after the hard break coming up. We'll do the schedule, and we'll do our Spreaker Podbean shout-outs and promotions coming up next. Here on GJRB Online, Gary J. Russell with you. Hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening across the USA. Hope you're enjoying the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. I want to thank Ed Delgado for joining me live in the chat room through pretty much the whole show. And he's enjoying his meal now. And so we're just going to finish off this show by ourselves here. And if you want to be part of the program, you can still join in the show. All you have to do is just get in to the Spreaker public site, or if you're a follower on me on Twitter, you can listen to the live stream right there. And if you are a friend of mine on Facebook, you can call me via the chat room on the Messenger chat room there by hitting the call button and put you on the air. And or if you just want to talk to me in the chat room here on Spreaker, you're welcome to do that by getting in the Spreaker public site, www.spreaker.com/user/5120525, and be on the show. Okay? Alrighty, this is the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. Time now to do our weather.
Now, our nationwide weather update. This is GJRB's Weather on the Fives.
Okay, we're going to do weather on the fives. Take a look at what's going on in the Clinton, Iowa weather forecast. We're going to do that right now. And then right after we get done with that, we're going to do our Spreaker shout-outs and promotions. That's coming up after we're going to take a short break. And we'll do that. And then we'll do our schedule for this week and let you know exactly what we're doing on the air here on GJRB Online. Okay, so why don't we do that? Let's take a look at our weather forecast for Clinton, Iowa. I'm going to do that right now and take a look at what's going on in Clinton weather. But before we do, let's take another round of national temperatures. 64 degrees right now and mostly cloudy in Los Angeles, California. Ambridge, Pennsylvania, back home, it's 41 degrees and cloudy. Going down the ways of Paducah, Kentucky, you guys are 47 degrees with sunshine. Houston, Texas, right now 59 degrees and partly cloudy. Let's see. Montiel, North Carolina, 39 degrees under fair skies. Omaha, Nebraska is 54 with sunshine. Billings, Montana, 50 degrees and sunny. Salem, Massachusetts, 41 degrees and clear. Dallas, Texas is 56 and partly cloudy skies. Las Vegas, Nevada is 56 with rain showers. Portland, let's see. Truckee, California. Truckee. Yeah, those people. 52 degrees and sunshine. Lebanon, Tennessee, 48 degrees and cloudy. Weather on the fives. Let's take a look at what we got coming up here in Clinton, Iowa. Under weather on the fives. Right now, currently 48 degrees with winds coming out of the south at 9 miles per hour, gusting to 11. Looking at your radar this hour here in Clinton, Iowa, our radar shows the scattered precipitation. It doesn't show really all that much precipitation on the map. It's pretty clear and clean all the way. So it looks real good. Our relative humidity is 55%. We have a 31-degree dew point. Clear skies, 10-mile visibility. Barometric pressure, 30.07 inches of mercury. And let's take a look at our UV index this hour. It's at 4. That's good. In the daytime. Air quality 41, not bad. None on the pollen. And we got dry conditions. Let's take a look at our weather forecast. 10% chance of precipitation tonight. Few passing clouds, low about 32, with south-southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're already south. Tomorrow, 10% chance of precipitation. We'll have some sunshine along with some cloudy intervals. And look at the temperature, 53 degrees. Yeah, we're in nice weather. West-southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we're overcast tomorrow night. 10% chance of precipitation, all three. Tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. 10% chance of precip. Overcast skies, low 27 degrees, with north winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Once again, current temperature at our Spreaker Studios and at Eagle Point Station on Clinton's north end. 48 degrees, feels like 44. South winds at 9 miles per hour, gusting to 11. Weather on the fives, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on most music shows, including the Positive Rock Show. Twin Spin Tuesday coming up and back in March. We'll have that back on in March. And the Christian Rock, it's 25 and 55 along with most talk shows. Christian Rock, rather. 25. Christian Rock, Positive Rock Show, 25, 45. Smooth Jazz, it's 25 and 55 past the hour. We're going to have some more smooth jazz in the month of March. So listen for that. Weather on the fives, 25 and 55 past the hour. Anytime in the hour it ends in 5. 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 past the hour on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Gary J. Russell with you. Hope you're enjoying the program. And we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more as we wrap up the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra with our rundown of our program schedule and our Spreaker podcast and promotions coming your way next on the GJRB Online Network.
Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.MeWe.com. That's MEWE. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland.
America's Street Music is back on GJRB Bluegrass with the Grass Goals, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle,
with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too.
On GJRB.
The blues, the primary start to rock and roll music, the music in which artists express their feelings through music. This is a new blues show featuring the best of the blues, with new emerging artists getting their thrill of hearing their selections played along with the greats like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and Etta James, along with a whole lot more.
The doors open soon.
To the Blues House on GJRB.
And we're back on the air here on GJRB Online, the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. It's time now for the GJRB Gary Russen program, Spreaker Podbean, shout-outs and promotions, promoting other podcasters that are out there who put on great radio programs, who are absolutely fabulous in a lot of ways, have great music, great programs, great shows. And they're all right here on Spreaker. You can find a lot of these great programs right here on Spreaker. And we're going to talk about it right now. Because you know, there are so many podcasters out there right now that I can't count on my fingers and toes. There's just so many out there. And a lot of them are great podcasters. They put on good shows. Love listening to them. And they're fabulous. And I love to listen to them. One of them, and many of them, is the guy who was with us from the very beginning of the show. Yeah, you know who he is. Good guy. Yeah. Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, right here on Spreaker. Yeah, you like listening to Ed. He's got some good stuff to talk about. He talks about what's going on in the world of news. Talks about what's going on in all kinds of... he's a very informative show. He has short commentaries throughout the week. And other great stuff. I don't know if he's going to do it. He's supposed to start a show on Saturdays. So I'm going to check that out. He's got some new projects and new stuff coming up. You're listen to Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here on Spreaker. And then, of course, along with that, we have some really great people. Tune in every morning, 7 mornings a week, is Mike Myers in the Radio Hope Network from Boone, Iowa. Puts on a good program, talks about God, love, family, relationships. And he is a great advocate to help the homeless in Boone. And hats off to him. Great man. Listen to Mike Myers 7 mornings a week, 365. He's a busy man, the busiest man in showbiz. Tune into him. Mike Myers Show. Radio Hope Network tomorrow morning and every morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock Eastern, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Or 9 a.m., 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker. And then you want to check out another podcaster that I like to listen to. Another one. And that is every Wednesday night. Puts on a good show. And he's also known as OBFSU, our Big Fat Soft Underbelly. Our Light Will Shine. Talks a lot of, he has his commentary, but he takes a break, which I think I'm going to be doing pretty soon, from politics and news. And I did that today. Not much news. I just had some fun today. But you hear him do his stuff. And that's OBFSU, our Big Fat Soft Underbelly. Tune in to John, right here on Spreaker. And then, let's see who else we have here. On Tuesdays, or whenever he feels like coming on, is Bob Huber from Algonquin, Illinois, just not far from Chicago. Has a show here called The Huber Experience. He does sports. He does just social, cultural stuff. Games, and talks about gaming, and different things like that. He puts on a good show. You want to tune into him. He's the Bob Huber, The Huber Experience, right here on Spreaker. And we go over to Podbean. And pretty soon, I think, I hope he'll be coming back real soon, will be BJ McNamara otherwise known as the Black Dragons. Black Dragons Radio coming back real soon to the to over there. Puts on a pretty good show. Has some good music and talks to folks, and it's always fabulous. He's on Podbean, and that's what we do from time to time. We go to Podbean, and he puts on a good show, and it's called Black Dragons Radio. So tune to Black Dragons Radio. He'll be coming back on real soon. I'll let you know when. He's gonna let me know, and I'll know. You'll know. So check that out. And some other great podcasters on Podbean. Some of them are Biblical Christian, the good stuff. KROC, Rely on Christ, great stuff on there. Bible preaching, and it's fabulous. Tune into that. And then you want to tune into other great people. We've got some guys playing all kinds of music. And they have some good shows. And they're from foreign countries, some of them. So tune into these guys. We got some great stuff on Podbean. That's Podbean, Podbean. And we're going to be back on the air doing Podbean here real soon. I've got a show coming up next week on Podbean. We're going to do Way Out There on Podbean this month coming up. And we're going to do radio, television, and movie classics over there too. So check that out. That's Podbean. Podbean. And those are some of the great people you can hear on the internet. And you know where you can find these people? All you have to do is get on www.spreaker.com/user/5120525 or get on my Spreaker public site. And that is, you just go to Spreaker, www.spreaker.com, and you just /user, or you can just go in there and just type it up. Just type it up in the search engine. GJRB Online Network. And it'll take you right to my page. And then all the contact information's there. You'll find Twitter. You'll find me on Facebook. Gary John, one of the other ones. And you'll find everything you want to find on the list of all the great podcasters I listen to. Ones I even mentioned. MTFB Aviation Network. Great bunch of people. Great music. Zach Attack is on there. He plays country music. Boot Scootin' Country. He's got all kinds of good stuff. Tune into that. That's fabulous. Good music, too. And then, of course, and he'll be back on Monday night. Every Monday night, Monday through Friday, is David Scott. You know, he just met George Norrie this week. Absolutely fabulous. What a great honor to meet that guy. Coast to coast, he met George Norrie this week at a convention he was going to over there. And absolutely fabulous. I think it was the Comic-Con. Is that what it's called? And so that was absolutely fabulous to go up there and meet somebody like that. Absolutely great time. Really. Congratulations, that's great. He's on every Monday through Friday night, Spaced Out Radio. Oh, great show. Tune in to Spaced Out Radio and you get a chance. Great program. Talks about the supernatural and different things like that. Talks a lot about aliens and various things like that. Shadow people. And name it, he talks about it. It's Spaced Out Radio with David Scott. Tune in right here on Spreaker every night, Monday through Friday, 11:06 Central Standard Time. That's 9:06 Pacific and midnight 06 Eastern, right here on Spreaker for Spaced Out Radio with David Scott. And then I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Sometimes he's on Monday. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say what it is, but he does a good show too. That is Jimmy Church. And he does a show called Fade to Black. Puts on a good program there, too. Talks a lot about different things like that. Aliens, UFOs, and government conspiracies. So check that out. That's right here on Spreaker. Well, welcome a few more people onto my Spreaker public site, by the way, while I'm thinking about it. Wanted to do that because I need to do that. Some new people added on just recently. I don't know. I was listening to this one guy's show, and they have a lot of F-bombs, which is great, but, you know, like I said before, and I should have discussed this with Ed because I kind of came up with an attitude the other day, and I'm sorry about that. But it was about the fact that I don't think that I need to put an explicit mark on my show to get listeners. Anyway, welcome a guy named Robert Della Garza. Welcome aboard. Thank you for following me. Robert Della Garza, welcome aboard. And also, Elation Radio joined us. Flava of Music, Rare Beauty, welcome aboard. Also, N3, and we got some of the new add-ons. AKCOG now calls himself COG 907. He's been with us for a while. And Aura L. Owens, all on here. And of course, don't forget Monday night. Speaking of which, before I end the show, since we're doing the shout outs, we can't forget Walter M. DeBall. Tomorrow night is Sensational Sunday Show, and then that's live right here on Spreaker. Now, we might be on tomorrow night too, so they might be on opposite that. There's never know. And then Monday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, we're going to be saying daylight pretty soon, another couple weeks. Matter of fact, I think that, let me see, how many weeks is that from now? Tomorrow's the 23rd, so the next Sunday will be the 1st, so that'll be within about 2 weeks. We'll be saying daylight time. We'll be saying Central Daylight Time. Another couple weeks. But tune into that. 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern for Great Blues. Blues in the Night with Walter M. DeBow. Monday night, right here on Spreaker. So tune in for that. Great blues, man. I'm telling you what, I like some of his blues. And don't forget, you want to tune in like about 9 o'clock for his Zydeco. And let me tell you, man, that Zydeco is fabulous. It's great music, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I played some Zydeco on my last Blues House show, which I might end up playing as a rerun to reboot that show. Because I'm not sure exactly what episode number I was on. I forgot. So I'll have to look and see where we were at there. But here's what's happening this week on GJRB Online. And, of course, like I said before, all shows are subject to change and can change with or without notice. GJRB Online Network reserves the right to change program times at the last minute. Used to say it at the bottom of the page of the TV Guide, too. Stations have a right to change programming without notice at the last minute. So I kind of put that in as a disclaimer. Alrighty. Here we go. Tomorrow, the 23rd. Let's see what we got coming up tomorrow. Podcast airing upload. I got to finish that tonight. I got to get the church services up. I'm going to have to work on that after I get off the air. I have to get the church services up and schedule for the 10:30. And that would be the church services from last Sunday, the 16th. I have to get last Sunday's services up for the 16th. So we're going to get that up and scheduled to go public at 10:30 tomorrow morning. The Church of Christ worship service for February 16th. And then at 11:30, now there's a change in schedule there. The Bible study classics, it takes a lot of work to put that together because when I started that Bible study program, it was at our friend's house, and I recorded that on a recorder. It's in pieces because I think I was still, if I'm not mistaken, on the free plan. I don't think I was even doing. I don't think I was even. I was up to 45 minutes later, but a lot of those are in parts, so I have to combine those. And I don't have the first one available. I thought I did, but I think I accidentally deleted it off the computer, so I do not have the first episode. And I don't think I have backup on it. So we're going to go to the next episode, which I can't remember the date on it. and I'm gonna start working as an ongoing project, and I'm going to start those in the summer. So those will get uploaded in the summer. So we're going to start that upload in the summer for that. Okay. All right. So no podcast there, but chance for a live public podcast tomorrow, sometime in the evening hours. Watch for postings on the GJRB Spreaker public site. Like I said before, 60 to 45 minutes before airtime, I will post either a post on Facebook or a live video. Actually, not a live video. A live 15-minute preview off my Gary John site of Spreaker. Okay. So just to let you know about that one. And thinking I really want to see if we can have my wife join me on that. And then some Christian rock later. So tune in for that tomorrow night. Christian rock right here on GJRB Online, the Positive Rock Show. And then on, let's see, what else do we have here? On Monday, I had scheduled a Positive Rock Show, Emerging Mondays. That is called off. And Rock Worship will not be ready yet until I get some more music for it. So those two shows are not going to air yet. I'm going to be working on those for a late spring, early summer run. So those programs are not going to be on yet. They're tentative at this point while I get things built up for those. So actually, Rock Worship is going to get it hasn't been on for such a long time that I'm planning on just restarting it over. 000, and then delete a lot of the old ones, and I'm going to start over again with a brand new show. So Rock Worship will not be on until late spring, early fall, or late spring, early summer. Okay, so that's for sure. That'll be a pre-recorded podcast a lot of times, 11 p.m. after the Positive Rock Show goes off the air. It'll air on my 9-foot closed circuit signal, KPRR 88.9, but then we'll air it on Spreaker later. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. All right. And then let's see. For Monday, like I said, so that schedule ends tomorrow. I don't have anything else written for the week for the rest of the time. I've got to work on that. But so that means that we're ending February with no broadcast on Monday. We're not going to be on the air with the Positive Rock. No Positive Rock Show Monday. No broadcast on Monday, as I'm going to be working on some promos and stuff. So no show Monday, and possibly no. Well, let's see what we can do for Tuesday. Maybe late Tuesday afternoon, we might do the Gary J in the afternoon. Play some music from our playlist. Okay, so we'll do Gary J in the afternoon with some 80s music and stuff like that, and that will be on the air on Tuesday. Wednesday. Up in the air at this point. Wednesday, usually we would do another Gary Russen program midweek edition, but we're not going to do that this Wednesday. This Wednesday, I'm thinking about possibly local only, or if I do anything at all here on Spreaker, it might be another Gary J in the afternoon. Not you're sure yet what I'm going to do with that yet. So Wednesday's kind of up in the air. Thursday as well. Next Friday. So pretty much the whole week is going to be spontaneous. Okay, spontaneous. That means anything can be on the air. You never know when we're going to be on the air. It's whenever week. So you never know what was going to be on the air. Okay, so let's do it that way. I think that sounds better than promising something and not go on the air with it. So whenever this week. It's just going to be a spontaneous week this week. So watch for postings on the GJRB Spreaker public site. Watch for any previews, postings on Facebook, Twitter, and MeWe, and all the other social sites. Watch for postings there, and I will let you know if we're going to be on the air. 45 hours to 45 minutes before airtime, And I'm going to be doing some test broadcast over on Podbean, trying to get things worked out there because I'm planning on a show on Podbean. I'm looking at a video for... actually, I'm looking to do a video on YouTube. So I might be working on that this week. I plan on a video on YouTube, on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. Will be a live video version of the Gary Russen program. And it will be all the stuff I talked about on the radio here. I'll show some of those videos and some of those pictures of some of those monsters for way out there. I might show that Shadow People video and talk about that a little bit. So we're going to do a show called the Gary Russen Program Way Out There Show on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. So how about we set that up for next Friday, the 28th? That'll be our freestyle edition on YouTube. It'll be a video version, Gary Russen Program Way Out There show next Friday, the 28th. And then next Saturday, the 29th, up in the air, kind of iffy at this point. But I'm looking next Saturday will be another Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra next Saturday. Hoping that we can get Ben on the program. I'm going to get a hold of him this week. I'm hoping maybe perhaps by Wednesday I'll know whether or not he's going to be able to do it. And if he doesn't, we're going to do a live. And I might do that anyway. So here's next Saturday. Next Saturday we'll be on the air at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, maybe a little earlier with maybe Ed Delgado, your caramel conservative. I'm thinking about he said I could put his show on Spreaker on the GJRB online networks. We might air that. If he does a show Tuesday, and then we'll just do the previous Tuesday show. It's a 2-hour one. And then right after that's over, we'll be on at 1 o'clock, and we'll do the Blues House show. Gary J's Blues House. Great show. Got a lot of good stuff on there. Gary J's Blues House. And then Great Blues I'm gonna be probably an encore presentation of the previous show because I don't have anything ready for a brand new one yet. So we're looking around for some new artists and some stuff to play. So there won't be no Blues House per se for that. Okay, so will just be the Blues House encore presentation. So we'll do an encore presentation, and then right after that, so only that because a pre-recorded show before mine's good because I can't see me doing straight double shows back to back. I've done it before, but I'd rather not. So we'll do a pre-recorded Blues House, followed at by 3 o'clock, followed at 3 o'clock. That'll be 1 to 3 o'clock, 2-hour Blues House, followed by the Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra, and hopefully we can get Ben Osman on. So I'm hoping maybe Ben will join us on the next Saturday show. So we'll do another Saturday Extra next week at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, right here on GJRB Online. So that's what we got planned. Like I said before, I'll have that all posted right after we get off the air. I'll post it again for you so that you have it, and you'll know what we got planned on the air. Okay? So, there you go. All right? I mean, because, I like to make sure that we get all our programs lined up and in order. And my friend Brian's going to help me out with my site, which I need work on. Try to get that thing up so we can get that public, and I can start blogging, and I can put all my schedule up there. Even if I have to blog it in text form. But I'm going to see what I can do about putting it up as a picture. I don't know yet. I'm working on that. I have to tweak it because that schedule is good, but it needs some work. The graph is great. I like the graph, but it needs work because it's not aligning with the times on it. Because see, when I did that as I got that idea from a picture of an old TV guide listing or TV listing from a newspaper, and I like the way they had that graph lined up, and I was trying to copy it, but it didn't look right. So I'm going to fix it again because it needs work. So I'm going to be doing that one this week. That's my pet project. And, of course, my Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually I do work on my blog site. And I'll probably be using those days to change the schedule on it and stuff. So I'll be working on that one. And making sure that everything is cool at the most part. So that we can get this to work right. So, that's all that is. That's going to wrap it up for our show today. That's going to do it for the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. I want to thank Ed Delgado for joining me in the chat room. It's a pleasure to have him on board. And we'll be back again next week with some more stuff. I never know when we're going to be on the air next week because it's all spontaneous week. That means anything can happen. You never know when we're going to be on the air next week. So watch for postings. Until then, we'll catch you. We'll be more than likely might be catching you tomorrow. Until then, have your best rest of your night. And be good to yourself and to other people. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.
On GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon.
If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming.
And programming in other great music formats.
Like blues, urban, including rap. Also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy.
Strange things in the sky and around the world. Strange beings sighted. What's going on? All around us, conspiracy theories are being discussed. This is the show all about the strange things that are way out there. I'm Gary Russen. This Way Out There's back with more weird stories of the strange and the bizarre. Keep looking up in the sky and let me know what you see. Way out there. Every third Friday of the month at 3 o'clock Central and anytime on GJRB. The blues, the primary start to rock and roll music. The music in which artists express their feelings through music. This is a new blues show featuring the best of the blues, with new emerging artists getting their thrill of hearing their selections played along with the greats like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and Etta James, along with a whole lot more. The doors open soon to the Blues House on GJRB. This is the GJRB Online Network.